Hello, my name's Blossoms and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. And today we're going to be going over the brand new character article that miHoYo released about Sangonomiya Kokomi, as well as some minor concerns that I saw while browsing through this. But we are also going to be talking about really good news that I saw while going over this, something that I feel like a lot of people aren't really grasping about her. And we'll get into that whenever we come across it in the article. But before we hop into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel because I am Kokomi crazy and I do plan to be putting at least a few videos about her. So the channel might be a little flooded with some Kokomi content. If you would love to see that, then don't forget to subscribe. But I'm going on too long as usual. Let's get into the video. So we have Sangonomiya Kokomi, Catalyst, Hydro. Tell me something I don't know, Blossoms. Okay, calm down. They say right here that Sangonomiya Kokomi is a support character with excellent healing capabilities. So they're telling you exactly what she does. And her elemental skill Bakekurage provides sustained healing to nearby party members while dealing hydro damage to enemies within its AoE. Sangonomiya Kokomi activates her elemental burst and enters her ceremonial garment state. Her normal attack, charge attack, and Bakekurage damage are all increased based on her max HP. When her normal and charge attack hits opponent, Kokomis will heal all nearby party members. So he's talking about how her elemental burst works, and her normal charge and Bakekurage damage all are going to be able to scale off of her max HP. And we all know max HP scaling is really good. Just look at Zhongli, just look at Hu Tao. HP scaling, just look at Diona. HP scaling is really good. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see just how much that scaling is going to be and how much damage it is going to be doing. Next we have her talents, her normal attack here, the Shape of Water. And there is actually an interesting aspect to this, that being the fact that it's a 3 attack combo. So normally our attack combos are typically like 4, 5, and 6. We do have plenty of exceptions to the rule, like Ningguang doesn't really have a combo. But the fact that this is a 3 attack combo makes me think that the modifiers on this attack combo are going to be a bit higher than our usual attack modifier. So I'm really interested to see just how hard these can actually hit when we actually get her out. And then the charge attack here is of course nothing special. But then we get on to her actual skill, the Kurage's Oath. And this summons a Bakekurage created from water that can heal her allies. Using this skill will apply the wet status to Sangonomiya Kokomi. And then Bakekurage here deals hydro damage to surrounding opponents and heal nearby active characters at fixed intervals. This healing is based on Kokomi's max HP. And then we get the little video here, and there is a couple notes here. First of all, that healing is huge. That is a huge burst of healing, 3k, especially since typically they don't really kit out these characters because the damage numbers are always trash whenever they do these little character articles. But the fact that the healing is 3k in this is kind of crazy. But then I also want you to take notice here of a couple of things. First of all, whenever Bakekurage deals damage, it is applying the wet status to the enemy. It is applying that hydro every time, which means it doesn't really have an internal cooldown problem, and that this is going to be in a very, very consistent application of the wet status. One other thing you're going to want to note here is where are the energy particles? And this is one of my big concerns here. You notice on cast, no energy particle is created, but then after its first tick here, there it is. You'll see 1 energy particle is created, 1. So I feel like this is going to be a Zhongli situation to where she it just kind of has a chance to produce energy particles whenever the ticks happen. So she may have an energy recharge problem, but I think that can be resolved via the one prototype weapon. I believe it's prototype Amber, the HP scaling one that is going to be a really good option on her anyway, and also regens energy. So I have a feeling that is going to relatively solve that problem, but I think she is going to have an overall energy problem, and that is going to be something we're going to need to be tested out. Now moving on to her elemental burst, and we're going Nereid's Ascension here. Summons the might of Watatsumi, dealing hydro damage to surrounding enemies before robing Kokomi in a ceremonial garment made from the flowing sands of Sangonomiya. Ceremonial garment, Sangonomiya's Kokomi's normal attack, charge attack, and Bakekurage damage are increased based on her max HP. When her normal and charge attack hit opponents, Kokomi will restore HP for all nearby party members, and the amount restored is based on her max HP. Increases Sangonomiya Kokomi's resistance to interruption and allows her to walk on the water's surface. These effects will be cleared once Sangonomiya Kokomi leaves the field. So you can't really keep it if she goes off the field. But let's just kind of see how this rolls. And you notice we get an initial damage hit there, and of course it's not big because, as I mentioned, we don't really get any good numbers here. But you will notice here that we are getting substantially more damage than we were before on her other skills and talents there, just based off of her casting her Q here. And the healing here seems pretty decent on the normal and charge attack, and then of course seems to be relatively the same on the skill. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how these actually scale whenever we get her kitted out with some rock solid artifacts, because this damage already isn't the worst. It's not good, don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling if we get her out, this is going to scale a lot harder than most people are kind of thinking. But I am a little biased because I am very excited for her, so don't get too excited. But I have a feeling this is going to hit a little bit harder than we are thinking. And one more thing about Kokomi here, we'll get into the rest here later. But I did want to mention this, that I feel like a lot of people are kind of missing about Kokomi, especially now that we kind of have this confirmation that her E skill is definitely applying this this hydro aspect every time it procs. And that is just the sheer fact that Kokomi might be one of the most consistent characters, at least in terms of applying hydro and then also just dealing the same damage. When it comes to crit rate and crit damage, you're only as good as often you crit. And sometimes you get lucky and your damage is amazing, but sometimes you can get unlucky and your damage won't be very good at all. And Kokomi, we already know, is going to have a passive that makes her crit rate 0. So crit rate and crit damage just isn't going to be a thing on her, and her damage is going to be just consistent. It's going to be the same because you're not going to be having that variation of maybe I crit or not. And you're also just going to be guaranteed applying this hydro every time this the Bakekurage actually procs. And I think that's an aspect that a lot of people are just kind of glossing over, is the fact that her damage is, one, probably going to be scaled up because she doesn't crit rate or crit damage, but two, is also just very, very consistent. You're not going to have to worry about it not dealing the crit damage number because there's not going to be one. And I think that's an aspect a lot of people gloss over and is just going to be a really good aspect about her. And I have a feeling once we get some artifacts slapped onto her, she's going to be hitting a bit harder than I think a lot of people are expecting. And I'm very excited to see an absolutely just really strong healer and good damage and hydro applier. And she is going to be an amazing character for a lot of teams, in my opinion. And if she does have an energy recharge problem, the Radiant Shogun and her are going to pop off, and I'm going to be extra excited because Electro Charge is one of my favorite combinations personally. So I'm super excited for that. And then down here, we also just have some story stuff. I don't think this is too important or anything, but if you do want to read it, go ahead and pause the video. You can also check out this article yourself. Just a little personality stuff about her. They did also have a trailer about her. It was kind of short and random, though. It didn't really tell me anything I didn't know, so I didn't want to include it in the video. But those are kind of the things I wanted to talk about overall in the video, just talking about how she might have an energy recharge problem, and generally that she is going to be a very, very consistent character in terms of hydro application, and just the fact that she doesn't have to worry about crit rate or crit damage. So her damage is going to just be very consistent. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys are just as excited for Kokomi as me, and if not, that's totally fine too. And if you would like to live the Kokomi experience by proxy, stick around on the channel because we are going to be having some content about her. I also have some other builds coming up: Aloy, Xiangling, Sucrose, Sayu. I'm just trying to get proper artifacts for everybody, but I do have a lot of different builds coming up, so stay tuned for those as well, as I'm very excited to put them out. I just need to get lucky on the artifact game. What can you do? Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. My name's Blossoms, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.